Also, I am so glad I am covering up what this woman is doing right behind me. Oh my god, what is she doing? This is SCP-2845 The Deer by the Exploring series. Let's watch this and get involved.
SCP-2845 The Deer. How do you contain a god? The answer to that question, of course, probably varies depending on the god. For some, the answer might be you don't. For others, maybe you convince the world to stop believing in them. And for others, maybe you just ask them.
We're starting off with the deer god. Not where I was expecting this to go, but I'm intrigued now. It's caught my attention.
And don't care who believes in them or not, but represent a massive threat to the world and must be contained by the Foundation somehow. One of these entities is SCP-2845, the Deer. SCP-2845 is partially known for having some of the most complicated and esoteric containment procedures in the Foundation.
They've contained it. Okay, shit. This is what they're showing us at the minute. It's got a human face.
I've come for your pickle.
On November 27th, 2011, a comet was sighted in space, although it wasn't on a trajectory to impact Earth. A few days later, the existence of the comet was confirmed by multiple observatories.
You know what I think this is gonna do? I think this is gonna... You know, you get like Uncanny Valley vibes sometimes when something looks a bit too human when it's not supposed to. I've got like a bit of a gross feeling that I'm gonna get that watching this, but we'll see. I'm scared.
For the next 3 days, SCP-2845 crosses 124 kilometers of the ocean to reach the western coast of the United States. On Christmas Day, 2011, civilians began to upload video footage of 2845, and it is confirmed to be hostile. The Foundation joins forces with the Global Occult Coalition to recover and contain the entity. But the following day, artillery bombardment commences.
Well, this escalated quickly, guys. Holy fuck. I always find it interesting with these SCPs, because you get a lot of SCPs where it's like, the public don't know about it, or we're trying to conceal it from the public, and like stuff like that, right? So I always find it really interesting when we get an SCP that's like, the public have seen it, it's a huge problem, we're fucking bombarding the shit out of it. Like, artillery striking this fucking SCP.
On December 30th, an unknown event causes the Foundation and GOC to cease their bombardment for 16 hours, during which 2845 is unimpeded. Bombardment recommences, and the entity is led across the Sierra Nevada mountains while under constant artillery strike.
Also, it's kind of weird that they're not explaining how they got it. That won't report how they contained it, which then makes me wonder how the fuck did they contain it? Why are they redacting that? Why does that need to be redacted?
2845 is finally declared properly contained on February 19th, 2012. As you might have inferred from the title, SCP-2845 is an entity with the appearance of a large deer, with a humanoid face and especially large antlers. A ring of ice particles and metal is anomalously suspended behind its skull at all times, constantly rotating. Aside from being seemingly impervious to all physical damage inflicted upon it, 2845's main anomalous trait is its capability of transmuting and reconstructing any matter in sight.
I'm not going to be able to unsee and unhear what we're about to hear, guys.
SCP-2845 is capable of using these transmutations in offensive ways, easily devastating groups of combatants. It has also been observed using its abilities on single targets, up to 10 kilometers away, transforming individuals into anomalous structures.
How far is 10 kilometers? What's that in meters? 6 miles? How can he even see that far away?
Some of the individuals transformed by the deer retain mobility, but all have evaded capture so far.
This is so fucked. I hope they show examples of this. Oh my gosh.
As mentioned, the Foundation went to outside containment consultants for some reason, which they practically never do. But these consultants are never allowed to leave Site-100 without a heavy dose of amnestics. The containment chamber itself, along with Site-100 around it, have been constructed to exact specifications. To simplify, the site consists of a number of concentric circles, along with a number of circular chambers, each placed at specific points. The floor of each of these circular chambers contains a 6-pointed star, made of lead, and the central chamber, where 2845 and hundreds of converted humans are located, contains an atmosphere primarily consisting of hydrogen at -110 degrees Celsius.
But I think the curious thing about this one is not necessarily the SCP. I think the curious thing is how they're containing this SCP. Kind of wonder what the intelligence level of this SCP is. Because it could just be like a creature that has like insane power that isn't necessarily particularly intelligent. And I'm going to guess as well that that might be the case, considering I think what they're doing is like looping a distraction here.
Some procedures involve D-class personnel. The first procedure involves 6 trained individuals putting on masks and performing a comedic play that includes trading insults, ending with the one wearing the foolishness mask outwitting the others and declaring himself king. This is followed by a game of dice, although the winner is irrelevant. The second procedure involves a live musical performance, utilizing various instruments, accompanied by singing and dancing. The third has the containment specialists exchanging gifts, each not exceeding $4.28 in value.
Why? Why is that number relevant? Why is that number relevant? What?
They are then presented with a cloak, crown, and scepter, before being restrained in a chair and castrated with a hand sickle.
Oh, hell no!
What?
The specialists recite another ceremony while disposing of the testes in a bowl of salt water. The final procedure involves a baby, no more than 3 months old, being roasted over a fire. The specialists recite another ceremony and then consume the infant.
What? Yeah, fucking Cronus fucking devouring his children out here, bro. What is happening? I'm pretty sure they said that the people eating the baby were a specialist, so they're not fucking D-class. This is a person who is just eating babies. I don't know if they like to eat babies. I'm gonna guess it makes that job a lot fucking easier if you do. But like, what? How? This is not a D-class. This is just a human that they've got eating babies, bro. What is going on?
Full clarity, the containment specialists of SCP-2845 cook and consume roughly 135 babies each year, along with castrating the same number of D-class, just to contain the entity. This is likely where some of you would like me to explain how that's actually not true, and that the containment procedures are simply an elaborate ruse.
I'm just shocked to my core that the people eating the babies are not D-class. Like, who the fuck is doing this? Like, employed and doing this? What is going on?
Unfortunately, that's only partly the case, and the SCP Foundation certainly does carry out these procedures, and will likely continue to do so for the foreseeable future.
This is some fucked up shit.
Then given his explanation for why the procedures work, and that's because 2845 is a god. He says that it's not a local or mild god, or a weaker spirit bound by the strength of belief, but a powerful god. Gods cannot be contained by technology or scientific rules, but instead by rituals and words.
Okay. I don't follow the logic, okay? I understand the logic. I understand where this is going. I am very fucking sus on how they figured out how these rituals worked in the middle of artillery striking this fucking thing. Like,
whenever you notice something like that, a wizard.
Where's the explanation? Like how did they get to this point? I've never been this speechless about an SCP before.
But because they are given meaning through repetition and application. Basically, there's nothing stopping 2845 from escaping its containment with a thought. but it doesn't ever think to do so, because the continued ritual fools it into believing it's trapped.
Also, can I just say I'm getting the vibe here that the person who's like this main character in this SCP, I guess, doing this interview, thinks they're smarter than a god. I'm just getting, anyone else getting that vibe? Because I'm getting that vibe off of this researcher, bro.
The third procedure involves the specialists exchanging gifts, but specifically cheap gifts, as this is a common Saturnalia practice, and the scattering of grain is linked to Saturn's role as a god of agriculture. The remaining procedures deal less with Saturnalia and more with mythology, however, and so I will explain the story of the castration of Uranus. Uranus was a very important god in Greek mythology, embodying the sky, and was the son and husband of Gaia, who embodied the earth. Gaia and Uranus had a number of children, one of which was Cronus. Uranus had hated the first children that Gaia bore him, so he had imprisoned them deep within the earth. Gaia greatly resented this act, so she asked her other children to take a sickle and castrate their father.
Fucking diabolical behavior here from these fucking Greek gods, bro. Holy shit. So immature. You know what? I don't really fucking like this guy anymore, so why don't you go castrate your fucking dad? What? Greek mythology is fucking fucked, bro. I fucking love that shit. Also, I am so glad I am covering up what this fucking woman is doing right behind me. Why is she so into it? I'm gonna have to try and stay still so you guys don't see it. That's actually crazy.
Desperate to avoid this, Cronus devoured each of his children as they were born.
Dude, the art from this shit is fucking crazy, bro. I'd fucking put this shit on my wall. I don't know what that says about me, but like, this is such a crazy story, dude.
Designed the procedures knew what he was doing. And perhaps even more impressive was how quickly he was able to design a procedure that would contain such an entity, based on very little information. The text that displays after you click on his letter reads, "Towering Kadath, my home." Kadath is a location created by author H.P. Lovecraft, which is located in the Dreamlands of Earth. I've done an entire video on the Dreamlands in the Cthulhu mythos if you're interested, but Kadath was once the home of the dream gods of Earth, known as the Great Ones. This connection potentially shows the consultant to be involved in far more than just mythology.
What is happening? How is Lovecraft also in this? What is going on? You know what? I said it before. I feel like this is just someone's like, I'm interested in a lot of shit. I'm going to make an SCP that encapsulates all the shit I'm interested in. That's legit what this feels like. What the fuck is happening? I can't, bro. I can't.
Congratulations! Congratulations!
Fucking diabolical behavior here.
Some SCP articles connect and blend with real-world mythology and stories in very blatant ways, while others do so in a much more subtle way, such as 2845. Both can be very interesting, but ones like SCP-2845 benefit from looking beyond just what the entry itself says. In the end, the answer to the question of how do you contain a god is, well, complicated.
The rituals might seem to be nonsense, but they are what I divined to be the best course of action. There are powerful symbols there, and whether or not you or I think they are appropriate to the situation is irrelevant. I've listened to the converted, I've listened to the echoes of the stag in their songs. They are not suffering, but they are no longer human. They are changed utterly. Shit, what is that? My fucking phone's in the way. The ritual remains as it is. This explains nothing. You know when we watched that SCP and it was about the marshmallow, right? And it was real big brained. And they were trying to like contain this marshmallow. And it turned out they were actually kind of taking the piss out of all the other SCPs for being like way too overpowered, right? I feel like this was maybe one of the SCPs that they were thinking about when they were making that. Don't question it. Don't question how it's contained. You don't need to know. That's classified. I feel like this is one of the few SCPs that I've watched where I've left the video feeling confused, violated, and also just lost.